again.
Yep.
So
Good
we can go ahead
morning,
and get
everyone.
started. Good
Thanks
morning,
for joining
everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and everybody's healthy. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to do this on a weekly basis. This is our first episode of Coffee with Chris, and we'll discuss some legal topics and other topics related to healthcare, what's going on in the marketplace for you guys now, how things are affecting our clients. I know we have a lot of joint clients together, and just answering some general questions that people may have. And Ann Markel-Crozier is our first guest on Coffee with Chris. So I'd like to welcome Ann. I'm sure everybody knows who Ann is. So just as a brief background, Ann, will you please tell everybody what your background is, and then we'll get into how you became involved with the firm.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. I've been trying to say hi as you've been coming on, so thanks for joining us. We know this was kind of short notice, but we're happy that you're with us. And again, as Chris said, we're going to do this regularly. So I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for about 25 plus years. I've only ever worked with the elderly. It was definitely a calling that I had while watching my grandparents really struggle with what services there were for them, and kind of fitting into that middle category of middle class where there was nothing for them. So I've worked in all facets of long-term care, from nursing homes to subacute rehab, dialysis, behavior management, case management, liaison work, and I've loved it. So we're going to talk a little bit about how Chris and I found each other and where we've gone since that day.
So Ann is our Director of Elder Care Coordination Services, and you're not kind of tooting your own horn, so I'll do that for you. You seem to have a lot of letters behind your name. Can you give us some of your experience and I know you just got some new credentials, so if you could tell everybody about that as well.
So I'm a Bachelor of Social Work. I received that from Monmouth University. I also have my gerontology certificate from Florida State University. I have completed a master's level course of elder care coordination certification through Stockton, which now I am a part-time teacher with that course, teaching other life care planning law firm elder care coordinators, which has been great. And I just recently completed the certified dementia practitioner course. And so now I am a certified dementia practitioner as well. I also I don't have these letters behind my name, but I am a volunteer community educator for the Alzheimer's Association. And I speak probably 2 to 4 times a month, every month, to educate people on Alzheimer's and dementia.
All right, so now let's get into kind of what we do and how we help our clients. And just so everybody's familiar with a lot of the terms that we use, I think, up until a few years ago, people weren't really that familiar with what life care planning is. But I think through a lot of education and us getting out there in the community, a lot more people know exactly what it encompasses. But if you can tell our audience exactly what life care planning is and how that's a little bit different from traditional elder law or traditional firms that do some of what we do.
Absolutely. So I've been with Chris now 6 years-ish, I think, and feels like our whole lives, but it's been wonderful. And I did not know what life care planning was when Chris and I started working together. Through the years, we've actually been very involved with the Life Care Planning Law Firm Association. I'm the vice president of that association now, which grants me wonderful opportunities to not only work more closely with the community, but also with other life care planning law firm associations across the country, which helps educate me and educate our firm on how to do things even better than we have been doing them. So life care planning is a holistic elder center approach to elder care, or to elder law. So where elder law is really more of a focus on helping our clients have that financial freedom and planning for long-term care issues, life care planning is more of a holistic elder center approach, where we can really focus on helping not only the client, but also the families, so that whatever the crisis if a crisis occurs, we're prepared, they're prepared. So many times there may be a chronic illness or a disability that occurs, and by having the life care planning piece, we're able to really follow them through that process. So Life care planning not only is our elder law attorneys, but it's also having an elder care coordinator, which we call an ECC, in place. And I'm a social worker, we have an RN, and we also have a certified dementia practitioner. And we're able to really help encompass that holistic approach to make sure that we have the services we need at home and the services that we may need out in the community, whether it be a long-term or short-term issue. But it's really that the bottom line of life care planning is that holistic elder center approach to law and healthcare needs.
It's good that you bring up. We do cover that social work side. We have an RN in place to cover that clinical aspect of it. We have certified dementia practitioners on staff. So then that begs the question, a lot of times we get people in various stages. Some are crisis, where they're coming in and saying, my spouse now has a diagnosis or something tragic has happened with regard to their health care. They have to go into a long-term care setting. What do we do? We're worried about, we're going to lose our assets. Am I going to lose my house? Am I going to lose my income? We don't have documents in place. What do we do? Versus those people that come in and say, like, maybe there's an early diagnosis and we're fine at home, everything's going great, but we do want to plan ahead. Or some people don't have any diagnosis at all, but they know it's a part of reality that a crisis will occur at some point. We see it now, and there's nothing we can do to really control the situation, but we can control how we prepare for the situation and what we do moving forward, and and steps that we take. So when's the right time to consider life care planning? Is there a particular age or a particular diagnosis? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I really think that, it depends on every situation. I never think it's too soon to have your documents in place and start that planning. That's something that I learned early on when my daughter turned 18 and she didn't have her documents in place, and I wasn't able to make any decisions for her in a crisis. So as far as just that piece of it, I think that 18 and older, you should have your documents in place. As far as that life care planning piece and really putting a plan in place, none of us know what tomorrow may bring. None of us may, know when that crisis is going to occur, especially an illness. But I think that right away when there is some sort of catastrophic event, or right away when there's some sort of chronic illness that's been diagnosed, a lot of times people kind of put their head in the sand and, are trying to just deal with, what's my life going to look like moving forward? What's my family's life going to look like moving forward? That's really a great time to talk with us and communicate with us, because we want to make sure that we're not only taking care of that person with the diagnosis, but also with their loved one, their spouse, their children, their grandchildren, and having that plan in place. So, when is the right time? I think that there's two different answers to that, as far as a crisis or a pre-crisis, which we can talk about more. But I don't think that it's ever the wrong time to have a conversation with us about what the future can look like. Everything we do, we're able to move with you. So if we have this plan in place for whatever's happening today, and then something else happens tomorrow, we move with you. So it's not like one and done. You put a plan in place and then that changes and then we're not here to help you. I think that it's important to really know that piece of, we're working with you, we're moving with you. And as Chris always says, everything's fluid. So, we need to be able to be prepared for those changes and those other events that may take place.
Right. I think, people don't realize it, but, in order to make an informed decision, you have to know what your options are. You need some type of roadmap as to what you're going to be doing moving forward, because, as we say in some of our seminars, if you don't have your own plan in place, someone has a plan for you. And in a lot of cases, it's outlined by the statute in the state in which you live in. So the state is going to have certain rules that if you haven't decided what you want end of life, who you want to make decisions for you from a medical standpoint, from a financial standpoint, then the state has laws in place as to who that person is going to be. And it may not be the person that you want. So again, we want to make sure that you're informed, what the law is, what the things that can help you surrounding your circumstances, so that at least you're able to make an informed decision, and your back's not up against the wall, and you're not exactly sure what to do. So
I want to add something to that, Chris, if I can interrupt. So I'm also the chair of the Tri-County Regional Ethics Committee, and part of that is really understanding the bioethics and the different principles of ethics. And the number one ethical principle is autonomy, and that's really what you're touching on now. Is in the state of New Jersey and in the United States, autonomy is key. And I know that it's different in different cultures, and some people believe that you're not to make your own decisions, but we believe that it's important to do that. And I know that for me, I would like to make my decisions as to who chooses for me if I can no longer make those decisions, how I would like my life to look, I would like my end of life to look. And so many of us are afraid to have those conversations. So many of us are afraid to really talk about it because it's morbid or it's sad, or it may push people into like a hopeless feeling. But if we don't have those conversations about what we want our life, especially at end of life, to look like, then we're never going to have that. And it also affects the people that are left to make those decisions if they don't know what you want or what you don't want. So that's really very key in what you're saying too, Chris, is that, putting that plan in place and choosing who you want to make those decisions. We've had multiple people come to us that there's some dysfunctional issues within the family, and there's certain people they don't want making those decisions. And many times that's who's left to make them, or that's who is making them. So let's make sure that we're, using that number one ethical principle of autonomy, where we're able to say, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, and how I want my end of life to look.
And as an attorney, you think that, or at least you want to have all the answers for the clients. And what I've learned over the past 6 years working with Ann is that while I can handle the legal aspect of it, I can help them with their finances. How are we going to pay for this? What payer source do we have? I can create all the documents. We can protect wealth. We can do all of those things. But it's, I've come to realize that the client really leans on Ann and our other ECCs more so than they even do the attorneys. So tell everybody what your role is with us, how it meshes with us, how everything coincides, and how we work together to benefit the client and what they get out of your services.
Okay. And just to touch on that too, we could talk at the end about, how we set up our services, but the elder care coordinator, really what our role is to, have a relationship with our client. And the client, the elderly couple or the elder is the person who's our client, not their children, not their grandchildren. That's who the client is. And so it's really important for the elder care coordinators to have a relationship with them and gain trust from our clients so that they know that we're here to do what they want, not the agenda of their family. It's what they want. And making sure that we help them get to that point, because many times people will say, I want to die at home. That's where I want to be, but it may not be financially feasible. So how can we make sure that we're supporting them and helping them? But the role of the elder care coordinator is many things. Number one, it's to make sure that they're safe at home. So we do a home safety evaluation. We make sure that they have all of the services that they need if home is where they're staying. And that's by using our community resources as well, bringing in partners to help with durable medical equipment or helping with the home, decluttering, things like that. We always look at what the next step is going to be, if it's a catastrophic event or if it's just a planned event. So what rehabs do we want? What nursing homes do we want and don't want? What assisted livings do we want and don't want? As well as the home care, private duty home care. So we're always talking about those things and making sure that we have that plan in place, because when somebody has that catastrophic event and they're in the hospital and they have to pick 3 facilities to go to for their next step, it's so much easier if you already know where you want to go and you don't want to go, instead of that family member now trying to figure that out and not really knowing what to do and maybe picking a place that's not appropriate. We go to all the care conference meetings for all of our clients if they want us to and if the family wants us to, which we find that's so important because we have that clinical background where the family and the client may not, and we're able to really help dissect what was said and what that picture looks like. So those are really important, and we can do those whether it be in person, on the phone, but we always will attend those if that's what the the patient and the family wants us to do. And then we walk with them throughout that journey. So we make sure that we're really with them, going through all of the things that they're going through and helping them understand what those next steps are. And all the way to, end of life issues, bringing in hospice, talking about funeral arrangements, all of those things when the time is right. But I think it's really important to understand that we're really there as their advocate. We're there to make sure that their voice is heard and that they're living how they want to live and planning for how they want to plan their life.
Right, exactly. So many people probably don't know, but I reached out to you 6 years ago. And one of the reasons is because, exactly as I stated before, I can handle the legal side of it. We can do the Med App, we can protect assets, we can do all of those things. But families kept coming back to me and saying, well, mom was in the hospital, now she has to go to rehab. Where should we go? What's the best place? Or they're looking for an assisted living. What's the best assisted living to meet her needs and based on her age and her functional capabilities and those types of things, or if they're going to a skilled setting, all those things I didn't have an answer for. And so I reached out to Ann, and it was quote unquote love at first sight. So we brought her on. So explain why you would even consider going and working for, a law firm, given that your background was always kind of on the healthcare side in a facility or hospital or whatnot.
Well, I mean, I can tell you that I was nervous when you first called. I actually thought it was a joke because I didn't really think that it was something that I could do, and I didn't really understand what I would be doing. But as you said, it was just so immediate, the connection and the way that you and I work together. And, seeing that, in the head of someone who knows what an attorney is, it's someone who wants to fight, someone who's just money hungry and all of those things. And so I was a little nervous. What was Chris Bratton going to be like? And to see that you had compassion and have not had, that you have compassion and you care about your clients, that was something that drew me in right away. And when I knew that we could work together to make those differences for our clients. We have clients now that I think have been your client for over a decade that really are like my family. And, they've stayed on for years and years and years. And I think that, when you asked me to come on board, I kind of just took that leap of faith. Now I can't imagine doing anything else. And I can't imagine anybody not having the service that we provide, because I see how important it is, how key it is for people as they age. And so I wish that we could help everybody. And I wish that people would see the importance and the strength and the positivity that we can provide. And I think the family of our whole firm and again, that holistic approach, everybody in our firm knows who all of our clients are and how to help. And I think those things are really important.
I think that holistic approach is really taking everything to the next level as far as just helping the client, because you can now obviously speak at least to the legal aspect of this. You're able to communicate with the client, things to watch out for. I'm able now to communicate with the client on the healthcare side of things. So I think overall we've made each other better people, and the firm has become better, and just helping the clients overall. So before we go, do you have anything else that you want to tell everyone?
I just think too, something that's different, again, as I said, working with the Life Care Planning Law Firm Association, seeing that all of the law firms kind of work a little different from each other. We can really kind of make it how our own, how we want it to work. And something that I love about our firm is that it's not all or nothing. There's no cookie cutter. There's no, you're falling into one category. We really look at everybody that comes on board or everyone that reaches out to us for a consultation, and what do you need? And if all you need is this, then this is what we're going to offer you. If you need everything, then that's what we're going to offer you. And so that's a nice piece, I think, that's really great, because there are some people, I think we spoke to somebody recently who just really needs the elder care coordinator at this time. And we're allowing them to just have that piece of it. Some people that just want Medicaid, some people that want the whole life care plan, some people that can't imagine not having the whole firm, and they continue to work with us year after year after year. So I just think that that's something that I see as being so special about our firm. because again, not every firm does that. And I just really think that that's a nice individual touch that we offer and we provide. I'm just so honored and proud to be able to do this as my line of work. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like, what I'm supposed to be doing every day. And, I enjoy the people that we meet, not only our clients and their families, but also the people in the community, our healthcare partners. So I just feel very honored and that I'm able to do this line of work. And it's great working with our team and working, especially with you, Chris, and, the things that I feel like we've done and the changes we've made over the years.
Absolutely. Okay, where can...
Does anybody have questions? Please don't forget to type them in the bottom. If you do, we're happy to answer, but go ahead, Chris.
All right, where can people find you? How do they get in touch with you?
So my cell phone's the best way to reach me, and I can give that number, and I can type it in on the bottom as well. It's 856-304-7074. Also my email address, which is my first name, which is Anne, ANNE, @brattonlawgroup.com. You can always call the office and they can always get in touch with me as well. We're all working remotely now, and so the office phones come to our homes. And that number is 856-857-6007. One really cool thing that we're doing right now as well is that we're offering free consultations to all of our frontline staff. So anybody that's working in the healthcare field, anyone that's a first responder, free consultation, and we're giving a discount for whatever service you choose to sign up for. And we can set those appointments up immediately. So we want to thank our frontliners and first responders for all the things that you're doing for us.
Absolutely. You can always visit the website as well, brattonlawgroup.com. You can send an email through the website as well. All right, are there any questions, any comments that anyone has before we go?
You can type them in the bottom. I can either unmute you and you can speak, or you can type them in the bottom and we're happy to answer them. Chris, do you want to talk about your background as well while we're here, seeing if anyone has any questions? You have some special things that you that you focus on.
So I have, well, my bachelor's originally was pre-med biology, so I kind of switched gears completely when I went over and obtained the JD, but then I also went a little bit further and I got another advanced degree, an LLM in estate planning and elder law. And again, just so that we can service our clients better, that we have a better understanding of what's going on with them, what their needs are, a little more thorough understanding of exactly the intricacies of the law, how the tax laws apply to our clients. Because it's all going to overlap. You really need someone who has an understanding of elder law, Medicaid rules, tax, creation of trust, all of those things, because it's all going to mesh together. And if you kind of go one route versus the other, you're going to miss out on some important planning. So, all right. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and we are going to do this on a weekly basis. We already have May set out. So please join us if you're interested in the topics. And you have
there's a question from John Wheeler. He wants to know if you're familiar with Maryland law.
No. So the way that it works with attorneys is that you have to be barred in the state in which you are practicing. So I'm licensed in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If I wanted to practice in Maryland, I would have to be barred in Maryland, because every state may have some subtle differences. Medicaid itself is a federal-state partnership, so at the federal level, it's all the same. But the states may have, certain things that are different than other states, even as far as drafting your documents and what they're allowing as far as asset protection, what's countable, what's not countable. So you have to be licensed in the state in which you're practicing.
And Mr. Wheeler, if you need us to help you find an attorney in Maryland, we're happy to do that. Anywhere, anybody, any type of attorney that you need. Chris has a huge, group of people that he can reach out to. So please let us know if there's something you need through Maryland. We're happy to connect you with somebody. And you can call the office. I'll type that number in now as well. We'll wait a couple more minutes just in case there's more questions. And we want everyone to stay safe out there. We know that this is a really hard time. A lot of people are really struggling emotionally with this, physically with this. You know, we want to remind you to stay safe, and hopefully we're almost out of this. But you need to stay healthy, stay positive. Please reach out to whomever if you just need a hand. There's plenty of sites and organizations out there that can help with anyone that's feeling down. You can call us, we can connect you. Chris is actually on the board of Contact Cape Atlantic, which is a wonderful reassurance, a daily reassurance call for anyone that's stuck at home, which is all of us right now. So please let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Wait, there's another question.
Oh.
How has the coronavirus affected the way that you deal with clients in addition to working from home? This is from Kirk Thomas.
All of our staff is working remotely. We do have 2 people in our Haddonfield office, but it's a big office, so there's plenty of space in between them. A lot of times we're either doing phone calls or we're doing virtual meetings like this through Zoom, so we can communicate with our clients. We can see with our clients. New Jersey has enacted certain laws that will also allow virtual signings. So if a client needs to sign their estate planning documents virtually, we can do that as well. So that's a new law that's in place. So they have made some concessions. We do have the ability to meet with a client in the office if they really want to meet with us. We are practicing social distancing and making sure we're complying with all the CDC guidelines. But again, most of our communication right now is either phone or Zoom.
We can FaceTime if that's easier for people, or whatever type of video conferencing they would like, we can do that. But we're also reaching out to all of our clients as regularly as possible to make sure everyone has what they need. And again, the new rule to be able to do the virtual signing has been great.
Right.
And that's in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We can do that.
All right. Everybody have a great day. Be safe.
Good luck.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.